Gentleman yields back. I now recognize the gentleman from Florida, Mr. Giménez, for 5 minutes of questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I was gone for a little while, so maybe you've answered this, but did you say that CrowdStrike issues hundreds of updates daily?
Congressman, I had said that the 10 to 12 times per day, we have issued content updates which contain the latest threat intelligence information to instrument our sensor, our tool, to understand what new threats are evolving. The threat landscape changes sometimes minute by minute, and so in order to keep ahead of those threats, to allow the CrowdStrike platform to detect and prevent those threats, it needs routine updates.
So 10 to 12 times a day, CrowdStrike will update its systems to react to a new threat that you've seen. Is that accurate?
That's accurate. I would say that it updates the configuration information, not the system itself.
Did the events of July 19th, was that the system upgrade, or what was that? It was something different than this 10 to 12 per day thing, or what was it? Yeah, tell me what that was.
Thank you, Congressman. It is, that was a configuration update.
And how often do you do that?
As I said, 10 to 12 times per day, sir.
Okay, so 10 to 12 times a day, you've got these updates. You've done them every day, so you've done thousands of these updates. What made this one different? And do you run system tests on each 10 to 12 times a day? You run a system test to make sure that this thing is not going to do more harm than good, I assume, right?
Thank you, sir. I'll answer that question first. What caused this update was that the configuration update had a mismatch in fields that resulted in one of the fields not being linked to a rule. And so you may have stepped out earlier, but I had said that it was kind of like on a chessboard. If the chess piece moved to a square that wasn't present, then that would be an example of effectively what happened there.
So since you've gone through it, I don't want to go through it again. So you do this 10 to 12 times a day. You've done this thousands of times. This one moved the chess piece outside the board. Therefore, the computers didn't know how to figure, wait a minute, that's outside the game. Therefore, I'm going to crash, all right? And that's never happened before? You've never moved the piece outside the board?
This is the first time that this issue is manifested to my knowledge.
Have you tried to move the system, have you tried to move the piece outside the board, and was it caught sometime before?
The validator that the configuration information went through was meant to ensure that it didn't move outside of the board.
So were your internal processes followed, and then you just saw this is a problem with your internal processes that you have to fix, or was it somebody went outside your processes?
Thank you. That's a great question. It was not a lack of following the process. This was an issue with the content validator. We've subsequently ensured that there's now additional steps in place so that this cannot happen again.
So it's your process, in your process. All right, I'm going to switch gears, go to AI, because I only have about a minute. AI. Do you consider AI a threat for cybersecurity?
That's a great question. AI, I think, can be...
Yeah, I just ask great questions. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah.
It can be a threat or it could be a benefit. It can be used to facilitate and to ensure that cyber defenders have more tools at their disposal, that they can leverage AI to more quickly process information and analyze it.
So before I only got 30 seconds, I have to make a statement. So the nation that leads in AI would be better protected against a nation that's somewhat behind. The better your AI is, the better you are going to be at protecting yourself, and the better you are at AI, I guess the better you are going to be at attacking your adversaries. Is that correct?
I agree with your statement, sir.
Okay, thank you. I have 8 seconds, and hopefully you have a second round. Thank you. I'll yield back.